Hey, stop that. I don't like anyone. Mariana, what's that?
I don't know.
Sup, little monkeys.
Hi and welcome to the worst days of our lives. My name is Aurora and today I'm here with Arianna and Mariana. Today we are going to be talking about the worst days of our lives. We have bad days, scary days, weird days, and embarrassing days. Me as the host will ask Arianna and Mariana the questions. I hope you like our podcast. If you don't, I'm a comfy. And so will Arianna. Mariana watches you suffer. Actually, we can't comfy you, but please enjoy. Right now it's 12:33 and we are being adopted by aliens and we are their masters. Just kidding. We are in our school where we have to learn math. We are going to be discussing lots today, including bad days, weird days, and embarrassing days. But first, we're going to be chatting about scary days. Mariana, tell the story of the scariest days you've ever had.
One day, I had just gotten back from gymnastics. It was a stormy night, and I had gotten in the car. We were arriving home as I looked into the unwelcoming sky. As we entered, I heard a sound as if it were a horror movie. I asked my mom, "Hey mom, do you have something playing?" "No, we don't have anything playing. What? Why?" We checked and nothing was playing. How weird, I thought. Must have been my imagination. Later that night, I heard it again. I got a pan that had been used for cooking steak and went to where the sound had been playing. As I went into my uncle's room, then I saw a shadowy figure. I screamed and prepared myself for the worst thing. Then the shadowy figure tapped me on the shoulder. I was expecting something creepy. Turns out it was my uncle recording a video. I am never entering his room again.
Arianna, tell me the story of your scariest day ever.
Well, one day, me and my family were going on a mini holiday at camp. There were these pretty trees and such a beautiful sunset with clouds and fog on the forest. But on day 2, we went to the sea with a bridge, but the thing is, there were stingrays. And the other thing is, we were supposed to swim in the water with the stingrays and jump off the boat board. After my dad told me all of this, my eyes went wide and I froze. And I started complaining that I didn't want it to get stung. But my mom told me it's fine, they're trained. I looked over to my brother who looked so excited, while I looked like a dead person with pale skin and my eyes wide. Once we got there, I was scared and I saw the stingrays coming towards me. I feared for my damn life. Later on, I finally got the courage and went into the water. But then I froze. 2 stingrays started circling me. I was literally praying for them not to sting me. But suddenly, I saw this huge stingray. It had patterns on it and guess what? It was massive. It was taller than my dad. It was 3 meters wide and I froze. I was panicking and my dad told me not to freak out while I stood there in the water with a 3 goddamn meter stingray circling me. I felt it touching me. It felt soft and a bit icky and a bit of gooiness. Later on, I got out of the water, frightened with pure shock on my face, while my family told me, let's jump off the boat board and dive into the water. I shook my head and died. And yet somehow they managed me to get into the water with the stingrays again.
Mariana, tell me the story of your worst day ever.
It was a sunny day. Promisingly, it looked as if the sky was telling me I was going to have a good day. I was soon going to learn that it wasn't going to be. I woke up and noticed that I somehow was at the edge of my bed. I was almost about to fall, so I jumped out of bed and tried to pretend as if nothing happened. Turns out it was 8 a.m. and I had school at 8:45. There was no way I could do everything at once. I rushed and changed, organized my bag, but my mom was still sleeping. I woke her up with a jolt. My mom ran to change. I served breakfast, I ate, we finally arrived, and turned out I had missed half of the work, which means homework. I accidentally tripped over a log, the smallest log, and sprained my ankle. Okay, just an accident when trying to do a trick in handball by accident hurt my wrist. I was officially in a bad mood for the rest of the day. Best thing that happened to me that day, I fell over again.
Arianna, tell me the story of your worst day ever.
Me and my brother were at my grandma's house. Suddenly, I accidentally dropped a glass cup, and I cut my hand with some of the glass. It was painful, and I started picking up the glass out of my hand on my finger before it swells up. After I did, it was now healed. Though. At 9:36 p.m., I helped my grandma make some food since me and my brother were hungry, until I burned my arm on the stove. And now, I started to think I had bad luck. Later on, my arm that got burned swelled up. But luckily, my grandma helped my burnt scar on my arm. At 9:59, my dad told my grandma and told her that my mom went back home to pick me up, but she saw I was not there. So she drives again until she parked her car and passed out. She was at the hospital. This was officially the worst day I ever experienced.
Mariana, tell the story from the weirdest day you've ever experienced.
One sunny day, I woke up to the sunlight on my eyes. That was weird, I thought. My curtain was usually closed. Weird, I thought. I went to my parents' bedroom. The bed wasn't there. I noticed how bare the room looked without it. I went to look for my mom and dad. They were outside talking to some men. I went and asked them, "Why is your bed gone?" My mom said, "We're moving somewhere else." My dad and mom hugged me and told me to get ready for school. I got ready and left with my mom at the bus station. Everyone was looking at me when I entered. How weird, I thought. I had done some spelling practice, played with my friends. Most of my friends said that to never forget them. Weird, I thought. Again, the end of the day was approaching. They gave me a letter with all of my classmates. The note said, "We will miss you, Mariana." In the letter, it had some candy. The school day ended. My parents picked me up and gave me fried rice. I went with my mom in a gray car and my dad in a truck. We were there for 7 hours, and I saw the sign saying "Welcome to Adelaide," and so is the beginning of a new life.
Arianna, what's the most memorable story behind the weirdest day ever?
The weirdest days were that one day, when I was at camp with my family, there was this boy named William. He was probably an 8-year-old, like my brother. He had orange-ish hair. His hair was messy, glasses, and he looked kind of like a nerd, no offense. But this kid was cringe. He kept complaining every time someone did something. For example, when someone bumps into him, he would make a big deal. Almost like a Karen, no offense. But there is one thing. This kid had a crush on me. Everything I did or do, he would do the same. And he kept telling me, "I love you," and for some reason, he kept annoying me and I hated it. And suddenly, this kid decided to lay next to me as if we were a couple. This kid gave me the ick.
Mariana, tell me the story of the most embarrassing moment you've had.
One day in school, I was listening to music with my headphones on. My volume was 100, meaning the music was blasting in my ears. My friend was sitting next to me because we had to choose our seats. My friend loved to prank me and make me embarrassed. My friend decided to take my headphones cord from my laptop. And guess what? My friend pulled the cord out of my laptop while my music was on full volume. So everyone in my class heard it. I got in trouble because I was being too noisy. So my teacher made me sit outside of the classroom to think about. My mistake.
Arianna, tell me the story of the most embarrassing day of all time.
There was this one time where me and my friends were at tree climbing. Mariana, me, here, and Thomas. As we all were there, I told Mariana that I found Thomas cute, how he's climbing and how he looked funny. Suddenly, Mariana decided to shout out to Thomas saying, "Hey, Thomas, Ariana thinks you look cute." And I froze looking at her with my eyes wide. And I wanted to shut her up before she can continue. Later on, as we were climbing, suddenly when I reached down, I got covered in sand. That had a bit of mud in them. I looked very messy. I was embarrassed of how I looked in front of them. Meanwhile, my parents began helping my pants to get dry, but it got messier. There's was the most embarrassing thing I ever had. But it doesn't end there. The next day, we parked our car next to the gas station. My friend Corney suddenly opened my door and climbed in. Corney was probably a 13-year-old and I'm 12. As he climbed in, I was shocked at what he was doing and why was he here. Suddenly, my chocolate milk spilled in my shorts, and it looked like I pooped my pants, which was so embarrassing, and I immediately hid my shorts with my legs with my hands. To cover it up. And before everyone can look, I was so embarrassed of why that happened next to a family friend. Bro, I felt so unlucky that day. Like, imagine you just sitting there with a family friend in the car and suddenly your milk juice spills on your pants. And it makes you look like you pooped your pants, bro.
It's recess. Arianna, can I please have your snacks?
No, they're mine.
Unless we get to them first.
Aurora, wait for me.
Bruh.
Aurora, if Aurora's gonna steal my snacks, I'm gonna steal Mariana's van.
Wait, no!
Thanks for listening, and make sure you subscribe to this channel to hear heaps of other school life stories. Bye!
Bye.